Just on my way, just pulling back into Northfield Park. I went and got some pizza for the troops. Just an incredible job done by them and the horses today in Ohio. Got off the phone a minute ago talking to James about how the horses went in Ontario. Now, I haven't spoke to Danny, I haven't spoke to Amy, but I got a pretty good overview from James. He was really happy with how most went. In fact, the only horse he was disappointed in was his own, and I think he's probably just going to have to give him a wide berth, that guy. Lots of time, and he knows that. He knows that. He went through it last year with Hasty Bit also. So, I'm just so proud. When I come over here on Monday, I wanted to take a look at all the employees, and it has nothing to do with what went on the weekend, in regards to Union Suit, and it has everything to do with now is the time we're starting to push the horses, and I want to make sure that the people we've hired are capable of understanding the difference between a horse that is in good shape and a horse that is not. And again, that has nothing to do with the weekend and everything to do with physicality. I need to know, and as Jason has to report to me, and they have to report to Jason Merriman and McGinnis, about how the horses are. How are their legs? How are their feet? Are they eating regularly right now? Are they feeling good in their stall? Are they moping around? How are the horses behaving? And that's easier said than done for people to do that. A lot of these people did not come from a background of horse racing. They came from various backgrounds. I joked and quipped about how one of them was a barber, right? And Antoine, the gentleman we hired that was a barber, loves his job, and he works very, very hard at it. And for them to pick up a trait that isn't easy, caring for living, breathing animals, and not just caring for them. It's not like you just go walk the dog and brush the dog and feed the dog and it's fine. These are horses. These are performance athletes and performance animals. And sometimes the line between doing it right and doing it wrong is very thin. And we always have to make sure that we stay on the right side of that line. I'm just going to drop this pizza off. Hey, bro, grab this pizza, buddy, will you? There's some drinks there on the floor, too. Thanks. So sometimes it's a very thin line, and I want to make sure that we're on the right side of that line. So I really wanted to quietly take a look at everybody's performance, how they've done, how they've grown, how they've matured, and how they've been able to fit in the barn. Hopefully they all could have, and it appears they all have. I'll be completely honest with you. Trying to get a grasp of how everyday people pick up a new trait. It'd be like me asking any of you, I need you to come and care for 5 horses every day. And I need you to be able to report back to me and tell me if they have any aches, pains, bumps, bruises, any changes in their attitude, any changes in their appetite, all the things that I need to know. I need you to be able to give to me on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's a lot to ask. And but when you care about your job and you care about the horses that you have, it's a lot easier. And these people that we hired and everybody that we have associated with us truly cares about the horses and understands what's at stake here. So, I said it to them, and I'll say it again. Just very, very proud of the staff that we've assembled here in Ohio, and it was on display today. They did a great job getting the horses in and off the track, out and off the track very, very quickly, efficiently, having the gear, the proper gear on the horses, understanding the gear that they have to have on the horses and why it needs to be on the horses. Just the overall understanding of what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and how important every single day is not lost on them. And that is truly impressive. So today we had a good day. As I said, I talked to James. He was very happy with the sets thus far. He thought, when I talked to him, he thought that Flash Fly looked very, very good today, but really had no complaints. The only concern he had was maybe the way that his own horse looked. And as I said, he knows that the horse will come around nicely. He thought Halley in the Clouds was very good. Lonely Lakewood, I believe he mentioned, said Drebin was a little hot. I told him we're going to have to put a hood on him and going to put maybe a snake cord on him. Much of the horses wear it here, and he'll have to also. And I know that Danny won't want to put that on him, but he will be wearing it on Saturday. Don't talk about Bruno was very good again. I'm told easy in the turns. George of the Jungle. I guess we can rate them on very good, and then James's horse would lead the pack on maybe not so good today. He made a point to say easy on the turns. Don't talk about Bruno. were very, very good. International Spy made a little break down the lane. He said he just over-trotted himself. He almost did that on me the other day, too. Watch Your Mouth was good, and Georgia the Jungle was good. Seasons of Love. I didn't get a specific answer on her, but again, we were talking about who was good and who was bad, and she never came up. So somewhere in the middle, I'm assuming. Insider Trading, he thought was very good. Drebin made a break on the front end, but again, I saw him the other day too, a little warm on the front. He's going to be under control for Saturday, that's for certain. Winter Bells. I know he didn't mention her, but I know she's good. She's been awesome the last 3 weeks. Time Is on My Side was good. Lonely Lakewood, Flashfly was great. Myself in the Bar, still don't have this guy completely gated yet. It's going to be a process with him. I think I know the issues, and I think I know how we can fix them. But the biggest component of getting to the bottom of Myself in the Bar and helping him out will be time. McPaisley, Great Bet were good. Howley in the Clouds was very good. He thought Beach Boy was a little flat, but he was very, very good the other day. And again, with all these weather changes, it's not unreasonable to believe that maybe the horses were a little bit sick also. Now, when it comes to here, I went through after the sets. I went through with everybody, talked about the horses, but I think it's important for me to make note of a few that looked exceptionally well. Pickpocket looked very, very good. Royal Emeralds looked very, very good. Really Don't Care looked very, very good. And along the same lines as James, I will rate them the same way. Very good, good, and then need to work on this horse. Pickpocket, very good. Oh Snap You, very good. Memory and Imagination, got to work on this horse for sure. Got to work on him. I'm going to be here tomorrow, and he's going to do a little extracurricular activities tomorrow. He's going to be working again tomorrow morning. Southwind Digit was very good. Just you can't ask them for more than what they can do, and she did everything she could. So it's impossible not to be happy with Southwind Digit, but she did get beat and finished fourth. She's in the good list. Mel Gibson was exceptionally good again. Arson, very, very good. Cowboy in the Sea was good. Electric Line, he said, got a little rough down by the wire, and that's what he's been doing. That's why we changed his shoes, but we literally only changed them yesterday. Got to give the horse a little bit of time. Going to put a little blister on his stifles and work with him. But that horse there, I think there's a nice horse underneath the surface there. Just good, and we have to work on him. Venice Blue Chip was very, very good. This is an impressive filly. Very impressive pacing filly. This is the lather up filly from Blue Chip Farms. And I keep saying it over and over again. Tom must have been right because he put his money where his mouth was. Blue Chip Farms retained, kept, and purchased back 63% of this filly right after the sale. Born to Dance, Daryl said, was good at times, very immature. The fact that he's still biting at people and horse, it was funny for a bit. But really what it shows is a little bit of immaturity, a lot of immaturity. You can't focus on the training set and your work at hand when you're biting at horses and goofing off. So I suspect now that he's been castrated a couple of weeks, I will go again with him tomorrow and we'll get him. He's another horse. I'm going to put a little A beside you, big fella. I'm going with you and you. Memory and Imagination, Born to Dance, will be heading to my office tomorrow morning. Vaquero Blue Chip was good again. Scott said he just tapped him with the whip, but he said he got a little rickety late in the mile. I think there's a number of ways we can approach this. I'm going to put a tiny double trailer on him. Also, I think that will fix almost everything. As I said to Scott, what I'm most important, what I want to know, what I want to look at every day is his ears. If they're at all on his neck, I'm castrating him. The Father Patricks are getting very little birth when it comes to being cranky and sour. If they show us that they're being cranky and sour and not putting a full workout in, I will castrate them right away. Memory and Imagination can attest to that. And Vaquero Blue Chip's not there yet. He was good today. Made a break just being silly at the wire. Did he touch himself? Did he get a gear? I don't know. I'll give him a pass for this week, but he's on the list. The pencil list. Don't turn to ink. So Vaquero was okay. Lover's Play finished up very good. She was great. Sunset Acres Girl got bothered by No Chance in Hill making a break. Gonna have to give him a pass. He lost not one but two front shoes. Lost one getting into the last turn and lost the other one right where he made a break at the wire. So certainly not his fault he made a break. The horse that really, really looked sensational was Sedona Hill. Man, did she look great. And I was very proud of what Charahola did. This filly's come a long way. You know, her knees bugger, her hocks bugger. She had some OCDs removed when she was young. She is getting it. I love her attitude. I love when I see the horses. And there were some horses that really floored me today. Horses that I liked, or even horses I didn't like. You look at a horse like I'm Fancy like. Man, she was a bit of a cow when we broke her. Her and Affection and those two fillies put on quite a show this morning. They look very good. I love to see the horses transform. definitely progressively, not regressively, and I was extremely happy with what I saw this morning from Chirahola also. But Sedona Hill stole the show there. She was sensational, as I said. Mounds Farrell, still lazy, but still doing his work. A little lazy, but doing his work. Pulled the shoes, touched her knee, and lost a shoe today. I'm not concerned of any of the above because the last time I saw her go, Amy went with her and she was amazing. She is narrow, and I'm not shocked that she touched her knee. I was a little surprised that the one filly had knee boots on and not pull the shoes. So the fact that she had a little scrape on her knee where she touched herself is not that shocking at all. She did have a little cut in her mouth. I think she might have something bothering her in her mouth also. I think, actually, before I leave with this car, I want to go and change her bit to a rubber bit. I know we have one in here, and I will get it on her right away. So those two were fine. Blanton's Blue was very good. He was being a bit of a little bugger yesterday. He got 2 days of heavy lifting, and as I said to Jason Merriman today, that colt could have went around 18 times, and I don't think he was going to let them buy him. When he's got his head in the game, when he's paying attention, man, he's a beautiful trotter. But when he's got that little streak of ignorance in him, he can get under my skin really quick. And today he was exceptionally good training today. Purple People Eater, Jason said was good, finished up well. Activation, Scotty pulled up, and I said, how was he? He goes, he was good. I said, what's wrong? He goes, I thought I'd bust right by you. I said, Scott, we were flying on the end of it. Like, I trotted my last half in 16, which is more than enough for this time of year, probably maybe even a little too much. And he said, well, and I was very happy. So he was very happy with Activation. The horse is a nice horse. Goldbug Hanover continues to get better and better and better. Daryl was very happy with her. And Paycheck Princess, keep your eye on that filly, man. She's got a big engine in her. Eric actually went with her today, and Joey went with Pull the Shoes. So Pull the Shoes made the break on Joey. Eric went with Paycheck Princess. Joe Cramp Sr. wasn't here yet, so we just switched it up a little bit. Eric said he really liked Paycheck Princess. I'm Fancy Like. I can't give her the gold star because I saw everything that took place today, and Sedona Hill gets the gold star. There's no two ways about it. But I'm Fancy Like and Affection put on some kind of show down the lane. Those fillies love their work now. They went from despising the thought of being a racehorse and hating harness and not wanting to be on the track and being ignorant and rude and lazy to exploding forward. He just sat on the outside of me with Affection her whole time. The whole time her ears were just looking around. He came out of the last turn and we were smoking all the way through the wire. Both those fillies really impressed me. The left line of I'm Fancy Like, being the time of year it is, looking at, I'd say her knee, but she looked so comfortable landing on the ground. Afterwards, there may be something going on left time. Maybe there's a curb coming. Maybe there's a splint forming. I'm not sure what's going on with her. Nothing stuck out when I looked at her to begin with, but we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm just so pleased to see this filly coming forward now. She was awesome. Irresistible Sun I didn't see, but Joe Cramp, who loves this horse. So I told you guys a story the other day. Both Joe and Joey love Triumphant Caviars. I dislike them. And it's just because I've never had any luck with them, not because of any other reason. And we did have the one horse we claimed that one to Caviar. John loves him. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was good for us, but for the most part, the ones that we've had were been horrible. And Chris Beaver, people have had good ones. It's not like they're all horrible, but we just haven't had luck with them. And this guy, they actually bid on this horse. They weren't the underbidders, but they had bid on this horse. And Joe loves going with me. Said the horse was fantastic today. He loved him. Widespread Panic made a break today, as did Victory Blue Chip. Now, Jason said Victory Blue Chip made a break because he tapped him with the whip. Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And Widespread Panic, Joey said, man, he's just really hot. We got to get a hood on this horse. I said, we can put a hood and a snake cord on him. We'll get him under control. He said, I just didn't. Joey's a little younger, and I told him, I said, Joey, if you're worried about offending anybody, don't. Just put the horse on my back and let him roll right up on my helmet. He will not go through the jog cart. You stay to the middle of the left and right wheel, and you'll have no problems whatsoever. And he said, well, I just didn't. I said, it's not a problem at all. Next time, just ride him right up on my helmet. You'll be fine. So, Widespread Panic, just a little bully, and he is fast. We just saw it. We'll put a snake cord and hood on him. There won't be a problem moving forward with him. Melanie's Michaela, I thought went good because I saw her pacing down the lane and after the wire, finishing up, and somebody messaged me, said, no, she was all over the track in the turns. Well, I know that when I spoke to Jason Merriman, he said she was much better, vastly improved from her last two lines. So maybe I was reading into what he said too much, and then also seeing her finish up her mile and go through the turn, I thought she looked good. But if she didn't, if he was playing her up, I was playing her up, and that actually wasn't the fact. I apologize. I thought she looked good. Jason Merriman was happy with her, and she is improving. Not as much as I'm fancy like it just yet, but the fact that I'm fancy like has gone from one of the worst horses we had to a horse that impressed the hell out of me today means that anybody can. So I'm going to give Melanie's Michaela a pass because Jason Merriman was happy with her. Last set, Green Tea was awesome. Dr. Ucker, I couldn't be happier for him. Him and I had a very frank conversation about this horse 2-3 weeks ago, and I actually mentioned castrating him, and he didn't want to right away. He said, if you want to, fine. It'll be he said, last resort, if you don't mind. I said, hey, you own the horse. Absolutely no problem. That horse has really come around, and he won his set. I think he won the set. Him and Gypsy Hill were right together. Gypsy Hill had a curb and missed 2 weeks. When I say everybody missed their training and it was their schedules were a little bit mixed up, Gypsy's wasn't mixed up. He did nothing other than sit in a stall for 5 days and jog for a week and a half. No training in 2 weeks. For him to go the mile he went today was nothing short of impressive. Just a really impressive horse. One of our top marks again on the colt side. Sweeney was awesome. Joel should be happy with Sweeney today. Did his work very, very well. Finished up strong, trotted through the middle of us with no hesitation after the mile into the backstretch, which is important because this horse was very green and very shy and very immature. You can see the amount of growth mentally, physically from Sweeney. He looks like a nice horse and is an impressive animal. Very, very happy with him. And Tilly's Hanover, Amy went with him the other day, said he was on the left line, so we took the Murphy off him. Today he was on the right line. He touched his inside shin in the last turn. You could see him get out of gear. Daryl had to steady him coming out of the turn, straighten him up, and then he trotted down the lane. But I think if we had just left that Murphy on, he would have been fine. It'll be on for his next performance. Militant was very, very good. This horse continues to impress the hell out of me. I love Militant. And Levesque in action, she's going to get a pass because she's trying to do her work. She made a break in the last turn, but they had bandages on her, and you saw how we looked in the last set, covered in mud and soaked. Those bandages, when they get wet, they start to fall down a little bit, and then they really cause more harm than help, and more harm than good. And I believe that probably was the biggest mitigating factor. The biggest factor in her making a break was those bandages falling down a bit and being wet. But I like the fact that she wanted to do her work. She's eating well. She's starting to shine up good. It's going to be a process, but certainly nothing wrong with her attitude, and I was happy with Levesque in action today. So pretty optimistic, Anthony, today. Not only from our help, which I thought did an absolutely tremendous job, but our horses. Our horses look great. You know, I come over here thinking I was going to have to polish and stay here for a few days and spend a little more time in Ohio over the next 3 weeks than I thought I might have to. And lo and behold, I get here and everybody's just done such a tremendous job. So for Jason Merriman, who's been thrown into a spot where he went from Jason Merriman, the driver, to Jason Merriman in charge of a fairly big stable. I think he's done a tremendous job. Just a testament to his professionalism. To all our caretakers who are new caretakers, a lot of them in that shed row, they've done an incredible job learning how to be caretakers and then doing their job perfectly. I can't thank them enough. And then, of course, everybody on Jason Station McGinnis' side always does a great job. Sarah, Lauren, Brody, Daryl, the two new girls, I can't remember their names, but they've just done a great job. So great job in this barn overall. As you can tell, I'm very elated to see what I saw today, and it really makes me feel good as we head into a very stressful time of the year for me. Not financial, but the stressful part comes from, hey, there's my wife. The stressful part comes from the horses doing their job. So I'll call her back in a second. Comes from the horses doing their job and learning how to do their job. So impressed. Again, Sedona Hill, superb today. And then the job done by the horses. I'm fancy like and affection. I love to see that stuff. So with that, I'll let you guys go. We got some qualifier coming up with Perlucky in 3 hours. We have horses racing tonight, horses racing tomorrow. Some news that is, I guess, makes me a little happy, but not really. Locatelli is going to be racing at Northfield, which I think he'll get around Northfield. He got around the Meadows, no problem, but not where I thought he would end up. I wanted him back in Ontario. I went to enter him today, and they said the Open wasn't going to fill again. So Harry and I have started looking at the calendar together for the summer and said, okay, they called looking for the open horse at Northfield. I'm like, we do have an open horse, and he can be over here. So Locatelli is going to race at Northfield Park on Sunday. Curious. I think after driving him at the Meadows, I'm certain he'll get around Northfield Park. Of any half-mile track on earth that a horse that's never raced on a half would get around, this would be the one. So we'll race Locatelli there, and it looks like maybe we'll rest him for 4 to 6 weeks. Everybody else seems to be resting their horses. HB Mama B has gone to the field. So we'll race Locatelli this week. We'll rest him, try to have him good for the summer, and see who else gets in on Monday. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I still have some work to do today. I do have to, I want to talk to the help and tell them what kind of a great job they did. And then again, get ready for Perlucky, the horses tonight and everything else. So with that, a great day of training across the board in 2 countries. Take care, everybody.